Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're taking a look today at the Google Daydream View. This is a VR system from Google that's been around for a little while, but this is the new iteration of their hardware, and I saw them getting very aggressive with this stuff at CES in a good way, and I wanted to explore it a little bit, so we're going to be doing a few things with this in the coming weeks. And what this does is it works with a compatible smartphone like this Galaxy S8 here, and you get yourself a pretty compelling VR experience along with a remote control to navigate your way around the virtual world. And we're going to be looking at some of the things you can do with this in just a second. But I do want to let you know this video is being sponsored by Pulse, which is an on-demand smartphone repair company. And this might be an area where you might need a smartphone repair every once in a while because you can't really use your phone with a case on this headset here, and if you drop the phone and break the screen, you probably will want to get your screen repaired pretty quickly. And what you can do is go onto the Pulse website, book an appointment 7 days a week, and in most cases you can have a technician at your home office or coffee shop or wherever you want with you within an hour to get that screen repaired at a very good price. They are fully vetted, they have background checks, they make sure that these people know how to fix a phone the right way as well. They really are pros. Now if you want to try out Pulse with a few of your broken devices, you can use the code Lon.TV to get $20 off your order. That is a really good deal, especially for screen replacements and battery replacements and whatnot. Not all that expensive, very high quality parts that they use that are guaranteed for life as well. So you get a really good as new kind of experience here without having to go through the inconvenience of going to a store to get your phone repaired and having to wait. They come to you at your convenience. Great stuff, pulse.com. Check them out down below. Lon.TV is the coupon code for $20 off. Now, in full disclosure, I purchased the headset here with my own funds, and the phone we're using here is on loan from Qualcomm because this really does show off their Snapdragon 835 processor. So we'll be sending this phone back to them when we're done, but I paid for the headset out of my own funds. No one is reviewing this content before it is posted beyond just the ad content that was at the beginning of the video. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. So let's get into this and see how all of this works. So the first thing we're going to do here is load up the Daydream app on the phone because you do need to get that going. I got to do my little retina scan there to get into this thing. That's kind of a cool feature of the phone here. We'll go over here to the Daydream app that I installed prior to recording the video here, and we just click on this little headset icon here to enter into the virtual world, and I'll put it in now to the headset here and get it all going. This does get a little warm in here, but it looks like there's a little bit of a heat sink in here to kind of let some of that heat bleed out of the device there. So this will drain your battery, of course, a little quicker than other tasks on your phone, but overall it's been a pretty good experience from a battery life perspective for me. So let me put this thing on real quick. I'm going to cast this over to my Chromecast here so you can follow along as well. All right, so here we are in the main interface. You can see me waving around my little controller here to select some of the apps that I might want to choose. And the first thing that struck me with this is just how good the head tracking is. And I was surprised I'm not seeing much of a performance hit, even though I am mirroring my screen right now and Chromecasting over to my video system here. So really is a pretty nice VR experience, very clear and crisp. Part of it is that a lot of these newer phones have OLED displays like this one do, and they run at pretty high resolution. So it really does look very nice. You get the 3D immersion because each eye is getting a slightly different image, so it looks 3D and very much reminds me of my my HTC Vive that I've got in the other room. So it really is a surprisingly good VR experience when you pop in there. What they've also done is made VR versions of all of their different apps here. So this is the Google Play Store, and you can jump around here and find some things to purchase or download for free. So there's a lot of free stuff here like Merry Snowballs and a bunch of games, and there's other things that will cost you a little bit more money, but you can really get a pretty good exploration of all the different apps on there through the Play Store. What I want to start off with first, though, is some media watching. So let's pop open YouTube real quick. There is a VR version of YouTube that you can check out here, and we'll jump over to one of these little things here, and they've got a couple of videos that you can watch in 360 degrees, and I was looking at this one here from the Vega brothers. This is their Machu Picchu tour, and this is a 360 degree video experience that's also in 3D. So this wall in front of us here looks closer to me than it might appear to you on screen. You've got some depth to this, and what's nice is that you get this video experience where you've got somebody talking to you, but if you don't really want to look at them, you can just look around and see what else is going on. And you can see this guy coming over here, and he's going to start talking to the other guy in the frame. So you're able to kind of follow things around like you're there. And of course, you can see all the tourists walking around and gaping at these guys as they're doing their thing. And it's kind of a cool experience. The video quality isn't fantastic, but again, you do get some depth here with the 3D, and I found it to be pretty compelling. Now, one thing with this system is that it's not a room scale system, so it can't detect your presence in space. So if I do something like this and kind of move my head closer, the image is not going to zoom in like you might have experienced on an Oculus or on an HTC Vive or something like that. So it really is a stationary VR experience at the moment, but Google is working on other versions of this that are all self-contained that will have some sensors to allow you to look a little closer at different things in the VR environment. But nonetheless, this is a pretty cool experiment here to see this. And if you have a 360-degree camera, you could produce content like this and put it up on YouTube yourself. And before we jump into some more stuff, I wanted to show you the controller that you use with this. It connects via Bluetooth. You've got some volume controls here. It charges via USB Type-C at the bottom here. And there's a capacitive region here that you can use to navigate. So you can see here as I'm on the main screen again, you can kind of flip this little screen around here just by moving your finger like so. And then what you can do here is hit the home button to recenter the controller. And I can then point to what I want to use and then click on it. So we're going to go over here to Netflix. And different apps use these buttons in different ways. But let's load up the Netflix app here. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now, Google has been working with a lot of popular app providers to make VR experiences here. And of course, Netflix doesn't have VR content just yet. They're mostly two-dimensional. So what you get here is kind of a living room that they've designed. And you've got some decorations there on the wall. And you can see your little remote control here on the couch. And what I can do is maybe select something to watch here, which will then load up the episode here for us. And what's cool is watch the lights here as the image comes on. They actually bring down the lights in the house so that you can get a better view of the screen here. And the screen actually looks a lot larger to me than it does to you right now. The field of view is definitely closer for me here than you're seeing through the Chromecast. So you get a nice huge screen in front of you, and it's a pretty neat viewing experience. I could see being on an airplane or something and being able to watch a movie privately on what looks like probably like a 120-inch television screen. It really looks pretty cool, and you've got this really nice ambiance of a mountain scene to relax in, and it really does feel like I'm sitting at this couch right now. One thing with this, though, is that I don't think you can change the scenery that you're in here just yet, so you're kind of stuck with this look and this look only, but it does look very comfortable. Now, we definitely need to look at a game here, so let's look at VR Karts Sprint. This is one of these free-to-play deals here, and let me go over to this screen here. I think this is one of those games that will probably make you sick, but this is another great use of this technology because it is kind of a stationary experience here, and I'm in this little go-kart here, and you can see I can look down here and get the steering wheel moving here just by moving the controller as we're going about this track here, and just like most racing games, I'm end up crashing into the side of the wall here. But this is pretty cool. I mean, it looks good. The frame rate, I think, is better in the phone than what you're seeing on screen right now. I think it puts a priority to rendering the phone screen here. But again, 3D, decent graphics here, and I think can be a pretty compelling gaming experience provided you're not prone to motion sickness. Remember, you can't move your head back and forth to see something closer, and that's where these things get a little disconcerting. And I think that's one area where products like the Oculus and the HTC Vive do a little better because you can lean in a little bit and have that head motion be tracked in 3 dimensions versus just 2 right now with the the up and down and left and right. So we'll see how the technology here develops as they come up with these all-in-one solutions. But again, gaming on here might be kind of fun, especially given you can just grab your phone, pop it in this headset, and not need a PC to do it. So overall, I found this to be a very compelling experience. In fact, I was surprised by how good it looked, given my past experience with the strap-on VR headsets. The experience here on the phone was much better than what you just saw streamed to the Chromecast. I'm going to try to just get my screen up here so you can see just how accurate the head tracking is. So things really are very, very responsive here. I would say on par with some of the PC-based VR systems. And what's happening is as the phone gets more taxed with a graphical experience like the kart racing thing we did, it does put priority to phone rendering versus the mirroring through the Chromecast, which was why you saw the frame rates drop the way they did. But my experience has been throughout all these different things I've been playing with on this Daydream system, everything has been very smooth and accurate, and I'm not getting much lag, if any, while in this VR headset. So really good stuff, very crisp and clear imagery. The lenses here really are nice on this, very lightweight fabric headset as well, and the controller seems to be working pretty nicely with this system too. The headset costs $99 with the controller, but of course you will need to have a compatible phone, and there are not many phones that are compatible with this just yet because it really does require a high-end phone. I did try to sideload the Daydream app onto some lower spec phones that I have here. It will boot up, but it won't actually get you into the experience. It detects that the phone isn't compatible and knocks you out of it. So I think they don't want anyone to get sick with these headsets on unless they're using the real deal hardware here. But again, I don't think you're going to get any real motion sickness on some of the lower motion apps. It really does track quite accurately, and I was quite pleased with how it all worked. We're probably going to be looking at a few other things with this as more things develop with it. And of course, there are now all-encompassing VR headsets running with this Daydream app that are on the horizon as well. We looked at one of those from Lenovo. And again, surprisingly, the image coming out of this headset with that Samsung phone was pretty much as good as that all-in-one system that I tested at CES. So good stuff on the way with this. We'll probably be doing a few more things with some of the cooler apps that come out. And until then, this is Lon.TV, and thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters, the Black Eyed and Blues Music Hour podcast, Chris Allegretta, Steve Blixt, Stanley Taub, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.